welcome back to Sam's on Wrestling, and welcome back to the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
This is where we take some of our favourite memories from wrestling and put them into our Hall of Fame, where they shall stay forever and be commemorated, because we like to talk positively about our wrestling. We each pick a moment, a segment and a match to each go into our Hall of Fame to celebrate it. Sam.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I love our Hall of Fame. It's one of my favourite series just to have that element of, just to talk about old wrestling, to talk about current wrestling, and to take the joy out of it, even if it's bad. Yeah. Even if it's bad, if you get some joy out of it, then it goes in the Hall of Fame.
That's the thing, it's all subjective, it's all our own personal opinions. So, you've thrown some questionable ones in there yourself,
I have.
as have I.
Scott Steiner, Triple H will always be the joy.
That's what I was thinking of. That is in the Hall of Fame, so it's not all just taken too seriously. It's all a bit of fun and just our opinions at the end of the day. But if you want to see more Hall of Fame content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
And by the way, if you're going to comment your Hall of Fame, don't forget to get your tie on, get all scrubbed up, because you've got to look good.
Oh, exactly. You've got to look good at the Hall of Fame.
I think we would dress like this at Buckingham Palace.
I think we would.
Sam, what match would you like to induct into the Sam's on Wrestling Hall of Fame?
Now, I've kind of got a theme going on here, not of a time frame,
okay,
but I want to throw in people who I don't think are appreciated enough.
All right.
And hear me out on this one. This match is one of my favourite matches ever.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles.
Which one of those is not appreciated?
Well, honestly, AJ Styles, I think people have forgotten how brilliant his stuff was.
Best ever.
Because I think he's missed out in his prime. He missed out on the Triple H era. So he had a year-long title reign with the title, and it's not really remembered because it was 2018. It was a bit of a bad time for WWE. I feel like we don't really recognise now how good AJ Styles was, because he's kind of coming towards a bit of a dip now. Him in his prime against
one of the
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, what a match.
How lucky were we to get this
We were
match?
more lucky because Brock went, I'm not working Jinder.
Brock
You're going to
Lesnar
have to change that.
single-handedly ended Jinder Mahal's title reign. Never even had to face him.
Wasn't even in the same room.
No, exactly. Thankfully, we got this match. This is one of my favourite matches. I don't know. I didn't know you at the time. I thought we watched it together.
Yeah, we watched Brian.
Because I did watch this at a friend's house. We watched Survivor Series, and it wasn't a very good Survivor Series.
They never are. The Raw SmackDowns were.
But this was unbelievable on its own. And I put a few Brock matches in. I'm not even going to apologise, because I bloody love Brock more than I even realised.
We talk about the character, the person isn't included. So
no, it's not even just that. Like, I think I've done a lot of him, and you might think more variety as well.
Yeah.
But I just think so many of his matches stand up, and I love this match to absolute pieces. Yeah. So it's going in.
So we're going to put it in. There it is. It's going in from Survivor Series 2017.
17, yeah.
Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles is going into a Hall of Fame.
So, Sam, what match... Oh, you've got a mischievous look on your face. Are you going to besmirch our Hall of Fame further? What match have you put on?
It's a little bit your fault.
I don't think it is. So,
at the last Hall of Fame, Sam, you picked one with a crowd kind of ransacking the show.
Ah, yes.
You're talking about besmirch. You put in Sheamus versus Orton from
For
the
good
Raw.
reason.
And in that, the crowd ransacked and did a whole host of hilarious chants ransacking it. So I've gone down the same route, but it's even more linked, because in that one is the Big Show. And it's a thank you Big Show. So I thought I'd go the opposite of a thank you Big Show. I am putting into the Hall of Fame Batista versus Big Show on ECW TV in front of the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh, no.
Let's talk about this match.
Oh, no.
That they literally hadn't done one in the ECW arena or the Hammerstein Ballroom, I think, since One Night Stand. They might have done a second one, I can't remember. Because I think this is Punk's debut match, actually, is on this one. And they went, let's put on World Heavyweight Champion Batista versus ECW Champion Big Show. No one that anyone wants. None of them are ECW people. Already, this fan base are like, this, you've ruined it. And first of all, Batista throws a wobbly. He had big crying Dave because he's getting chanted at.
Difference between him and Cena.
Let me go through the chants. We've got, first of all, Batista argues with a fan on his way to the ring. He's a babyface.
Come on.
The chants are, you both suck. Then they go to an ad break, and they've shown what happened at the ad break. Big Show flips off the crowd. Oh, God. But then he gets on the microphone and says, he says, F you, and he doesn't say F, and then says, I'm the champion, deal with it. They then come back from the break, and we get this match. Same old shit. There's going to be a lot of bleeping. Change the channel. Then one does a decent move. You still suck. And this match sucks. Batista throws a wobbly, wants to leave, ends in a DQ on ECW. It is genuinely, watching these two not be able to deal with the Hammerstein crowd is one of the funniest things. And I thought the first proper nail into the ECW coffin. There had been nails already kind of prepped. You could say they've already gone in with like RVD and all that jazz, but they were like, oh, that's just a problem. We can kind of fix that. We'll sort it out. We're still in the ballroom. We're still new. And then they put this match on. And quite frankly, Sam, it was hilarious. So you did a thank you, Big Show, with a chance. Well, I've got a you both suck with the Big Show.
See, we've seen it a little bit in the modern era. I think it's influenced off that, but none of it's as visceral.
This was visceral.
That.
Yeah. This is hate.
I actually want to watch this now. You sold it to me because I've seen little bits of it.
Yeah.
I've seen little bits of it. It's just baffling the fact that they put that match on. I massively respect the ECW crowd for doing that.
It was so funny.
That's
you
fantastic.
Both suck. So can I put Batista versus Big Show from ECW TV taping into the Hall of Fame?
You can. Throw it on in there.
You both suck! Sam, what moment would you like to add into the Hall of Fame?
This is someone who I really don't think is appreciated enough. I am talking about Mark Henry.
Long career.
So this is a very obscure moment that a lot of people won't know about. Am I putting something in the set that you're also nominating?
I think this is, not today, but I think I know exactly what moment you're going to put on.
When he breaks...
He can't get the chain open!
The chain! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh,
massively.
I know this story inside out.
No, it's brilliant. It's when you know the story, because you at first would think, oh, this is a bit of a botch. It looks really bad because he takes ages in it. It's edited, so in
live crowd.
It was like 5 minutes, wasn't it?
Ages, yeah. Give the whole story.
When you watch it, so
I don't even remember who's in the cage. It's Batista versus somebody. Is it Eminem? Maybe.
Probably.
Oh, is it Batista Ray versus Eminem in the cage?
Yes,
I think so. Maybe that's the match.
That's the match that's going on. And obviously Henry's feuding with Batista, so he wants to try and get in the cage. Obviously, he's not going to
Batista then gets injured. They don't even have the match.
Yeah,
they get injured, because Kurt Angle becomes world champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Mark's obviously going to break the cage door because he's just the world's strongest man. That's his gimmick. He's going to break it open and attack him, and we're just going to do the SmackDown. We're just going to not think about it. And we're just going to do that angle. Someone was supposed to gimmick the chain.
And then they didn't gimmick the chain.
Because I think they're supposed to saw one of them slightly.
Saw one that he could split because he was strong enough to do that.
Yes. He'd forgotten to do it.
Yeah.
So Mark gets to the cage door, starts pulling it, and that's a real metal chain. That is a steel chain.
Yeah.
So Mark Henry's like, well, I'm not going to, fail and climb over. That kills my gimmick.
Yeah.
So Mark Henry, because he's Mark freaking Henry, yes, it takes 5 minutes, but Sam, he breaks that chain.
Yeah, he does.
That is a steel chain, real life, and legitimately he breaks it. And Batista's face when he sees it, he's like,
it is one of the
most... Oh my God.
It's such a weird one. It's an hilarious botch, but at the same time, it's the most impressive botch in the history of wrestling.
It's the most impressive thing I think we've ever seen happen in a wrestling environment on TV.
It's the most impressive fail.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, because you might think, if you're a fan, you don't know it, oh, he's taking ages to break it, oh, he couldn't break the gimmick one. No, that's a real steel chain. And I love the fact that he did that. And he said in a podcast that his hands were in so much pain for weeks.
They're
weeks
going
after
to be,
it. Yeah. And he did it. I love the fact that you get to see something like that that's completely real. And I know they've edited it down. I think this would go down very differently if that was on a Raw.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
Someone would have to tell him to do something else. He'd have to climb over.
He'd have to. But they let him do it because they knew they could edit around it.
Yeah.
I love it. I watch it back sometimes thinking, that is insane that he broke that, but it's also hilarious at the same time.
The problem is what makes it less impressive is not the fact that he does it, is in between there's a, get the door! Come on! I want to get in! There is an element of, it looked like he tried to rip the door open, I think in his brain went, okay, this chain's not gimmick, someone screwed me over here. What's the easier thing for me to break? The door or the chain? So he clearly went, this door is on weak little metal things, I'll be able to, and it turns out doors of steel cages are really strong.
I am the door. It wasn't.
Turns out the door is the world's strongest door.
Ultimately, but the chain wasn't the world's strongest chain.
That was a great moment. I remember watching that, because even though they edited it, it's still not edited amazingly because you can't.
Yeah.
So that's a great moment, Sam. Yeah, definitely add that into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
We're putting into the Hall of Fame Mark Henry not being able to, but then being able to break a real chain on a steel cage door in 2006.
So, Sam, what is your moment that you are inducting into the Hall of Fame?
So the Big Show. We're at I can't remember what pay-per-view. It's like an Extreme Rules.
I know exactly what you're about to say.
Go on then. If I've not matched yours, if you're going to match mine, go on.
No, it's the Cody Rhodes tape.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I have gone with a good moment.
I think that was a good moment.
I've gone with a good moment. Okay. Edge and Cena are in a last man standing match. Ooh. Big Show, who's I think from WrestleMania, comes out feuding with them and choke slams John Cena through a spotlight. It genuinely is one of the greatest spots in wrestling history that is not talked about enough because it's a great bit of cinematography, great bit of work from Big Show and Cena. They nail it because it's such a small thing. Cena looks great in it. It makes Big Show look like a monster. And no one is sat there going, right, what's he going to do? Because everyone's going, he's going to choke someone off the stage. We're all going, he's going to choke someone off the stage. And then he turns, sees a spotlight, and goes straight through a spotlight. Remember, this is the end of the night, so these spotlights have been there all night.
Yeah, you just think
to go straight through. Genuinely, it is one of the greatest spots in wrestling history, and it is not talked about enough. Yeah, Thank you, Big Show.
Thank you, Big Show, indeed. I think because he was interfering in the match, and no one really wanted to see Big Show.
They really did.
Got that Big Show moniker.
We were done by that point.
I feel like if Braun Strowman had done something like that,
yes,
he'd go down way better.
Brock, anyone like that, yeah. But it's because it's
still great.
Yeah, it was beautifully done, perfectly done, dangerous. Edge has sold it fantastically. I was like, I've won the match. But honestly, that is a badass. This is the problem because it's a Big Show, and you're never going to follow up on it because Big Show eventually will go change face to heel, start losing jobs out again, and all that jazz. And you're like, ugh, if you'd have picked someone who's like over or picked someone who's protected, it would have really worked. But if you took all that away, strip away who, what, where, and just look at the spot, the moment that Big Show picks up Cena, we all going, chokeslam him off, and he puts him through a spotlight, and the spotlight goes bang. That's as I said, the cinematography with it, the special effects with it, the actual physicality to be able to do the spotlight thing. What they created is really good. No one was there. No one's going, he's putting him through that.
Imagine being there live.
Oh, I would have been incredible. Imagine being like, so obviously there's the stage, and the spotlight's there. Imagine being on that side, and you see the perfect angle of it. It's generally one of the greatest spots in history, and I will hear nothing of it.
No, I agree.
Yep, so should we add it in there?
Most certainly.
Big Show smashing John Cena through a spotlight at whatever pay-per-view it was. Extreme Rules. No Way Out.
I think it was Extreme Rules.
I think it's an Extreme Rules.
It might be Backlash.
Might be Backlash. But who cares?
Really
Big Show chokeslamming John Cena through a spotlight is going into our Hall of Fame. Sam, we finished with our segments. What segment would you like to add into the Hall of Fame?
On the underappreciated spectrum of things, we've got Brock again. He's not why this is here. Samoa Joe.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
The segment where just night after Great Balls of Fire...
When he's lost.
He lost. He comes out. Roman and Brock are doing a segment where Brock swears randomly. Brock decided he wanted to talk in this segment.
He did.
Fantastic. He kind of talks to Roman and kind of swears at him. And then Samoa Joe comes out and they put over on commentary that Brock's intimidated by him, which
is really good.
It was really good. Joe was he's getting the Joe chance.
When he should have won the title.
The
only time he should have won the title, I believe.
2018. But that's a whole other conversation. I love Joe at this point. He comes out, and after Roman Reigns has been cutting this really typical bland Roman Reigns promo, suddenly we get someone who can cut a promo.
Because Joe can.
Oh my goodness. So Joe, it was the style of promo. So he comes out and he said, "You didn't beat me, you escaped me." And they're talking over each other. Brock's talking, Paul's barely talking. It's Brock and Joe, but they're talking over each other, not like at the same time. They're cutting each other off, and it feels like a real natural exchange between people. I think Punk and Drew did something quite similar last year, actually. I love that kind of promo. And every promo around this time was so overly scripted and overly just predictable. This was like, oh my goodness, this was so good. And it's the bit where Joe's talking to Brock, and then Brock goes to point at Roman and he says, "Hey, you look at me when I'm talking to you."
Yeah, that was the thing.
That was when I was like, this guy should win the title.
Why? I know the Fatal 4-Way we got at SummerSlam was... because that was next, wasn't it? They did the Fatal 4-Way next. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think he should have won beforehand. Because you say SummerSlam, I mean, it's the same. I'm talking about the era at the time. That still should have been Brock Samoa Joe. I know the Fatal 4 is amazing, and I don't want to take away that Fatal 4 ever, but that match is the match that should have main evented SummerSlam, and with Joe winning.
Yeah.
Brock should have lost the title. It's SummerSlam, you're going to go away again into a Royal Rumble or whatever it was. Let Joe win the title. He can even have it for a month if you want to move it on to someone else like Roman or whatever. That was the time for him to win it, because that promo exchange, I remember it because I was so not interested.
Yeah.
I was so like at this point, just like I skipped. I had Sky back then, so I could fast forward through a lot of it, and I fast forward through a lot of matches because the TV matches were very dull, very paint by numbers, and you kind of fast forward to the promo exchanges to see what they were in the story, and you can get through Raw in about 25 minutes. It felt like. But that one, you'd watch the whole thing, and Joe was phenomenal in it.
Yeah.
And this is when you went, Vince, you never wanted Joe. He saw Joe as a fat guy. He never saw Joe as the monster. And Triple H did, but sadly, he came too late.
Yeah.
Triple H made him NXT champion again, and then got released as champion.
Yeah,
and you're like, what the hell?
Insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Joe so much, and I wanted to put him on here. And this is.
I think you're so delighted that we're reviewing TNA.
Oh, I know. It's great.
Over the next 6 months, we're going to see so much Samoa Joe.
When he came to WWE, that was my first taste of Samoa Joe,
Yeah,
and I was
it was.
like, he's so good.
And
now he's a bit younger.
And now you get to watch Samoa Joe at his peak in TNA. I'm really happy for you, actually.
Well,
but yeah, we're definitely going to put that in. That is 100% a great moment. This is why we did the Hall of Fame, because who was going to put that in the Hall of Fame? And that's why we talk about these moments. We're putting Samoa Joe essentially intimidating Brock Lesnar in that promo exchange on the road to SummerSlam.
So, Sam, what is your final entry into this video's Hall of Fame? What's your segment?
So the Big Show.
Oh, for God's sake! You should not be in here 3 times.
No, you like this moment as well. You like this segment.
Go on.
So, Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero are having a lumberjack match on SmackDown in 2004. And what we was told is that the Big Show had been fired around May sort of time. Been fired, had chokeslammed, was attempted to chokeslam Tori Wilson off the balcony. He chokeslammed Kurt Angle off the balcony.
When did Kurt Angle come back on TV? Because it looked like he died.
He was the GM. And
so he was in a wheelchair.
So literally next week he was in a wheelchair.
Fair.
Because he was resting his neck after WrestleMania 20 and then he came back SummerSlam. So Big Show was off. I think he was either injured or having a break or whatever. And they literally announced that Big Show has been re-signed and he'll be returning. And on this one, it was 2 weeks he was returning. So Angle and Eddie Guerrero have a decent lumberjack match. It's not that very memorable. Lots of lumberjacks. And then suddenly all the lumberjacks get involved. Big schmoz. And then, well, Big Show, big fireworks go off. And long-haired Big Show returns 2 weeks ahead of schedule. And that's what makes this even better than it actually was. Big Show returned before he was scheduled. And it was a, what? And it really was a what moment because it was 2 weeks. And he comes in and destroys every single lumberjack. All of them. He then gets to Angle and Guerrero, who he ends up feuding with later on, and he chokeslams Guerrero, and Angle's like, that's actually like, complete chokeslam. And he chokeslam, and he looks like they're going, that's how you book the Big Show. Remember, he went off as a heel as well and came back as a babyface. That's how you booked the Big Show. I never understood why Vince just couldn't keep him a monster.
Yeah.
And use him as a monster to protect him, because you're like, why did you misuse the Big Show? Immediately, I'll point out. But you're like, when they booked him and they got behind him, it was amazing. And then they went, I'm bored of that now. Oh, he's got to lose eventually. You're like, he didn't have to. He could do everything. And that destruction of the Lumberjacks in 2004, with the fact that I said he returns 2 weeks early, the crowd go mad. The return is huge. The fireworks are massive. It's honestly a fantastic segment.
Yeah, it's probably my favourite Big Show moment. I love it so
It's
much.
up there. It really is up there. I think it's so good.
I had when I was a kid, I had like a SmackDown 20th anniversary DVD where they had like the top 100 moments of SmackDown till like 2008.
Yeah.
That was on there. That's how I discovered that moment. I love it. You know me. I love chaos.
Yes.
I love a brawl where there's loads of destruction and bedlam.
Maybe not a pull-apart brawl.
Oh God, no.
Triple H, stop it!
No, but this was brilliant. I just love. Sometimes wrestling is simple. Sometimes you just need the really big fella just to come down at the end of the night and just kill everyone. And sometimes that's enough. That's really entertaining. So I loved it.
It was honestly so much fun because everyone tried and everyone failed. And the fact that he got to the two big stars of Eddie and Angle and took them both out anyway, because the next night on SmackDown it was who was he going to face at No Mercy. And Eddie was like, I'll do it. And Angle's like, I don't want to. And he picks Angle anyway. And then Angle, a week later, shoots him with a dart.
Oh, is that
and
week
shaves
later?
his head.
So he kind of taken away his dominant mystique.
Yeah.
Over there, yeah.
Well, he knew he was losing his hair, so he grew it out as much as he could. So he
no,
shaved
that I
it.
respect.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin should have done that.
And that's what they showed off during the thing. And that it was great. Well, Baron Corbin should have had a hair versus hair match. He missed
That's
it.
what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he missed it. So I generally love this moment. And so I have paid my thank you, Big Show respect based on what you
More than
did
enough.
last month. You said a thank you, Big Show, and it was even the thumbnail was thank you, Big Show.
Oh,
I thought I would give a real thank you to Big Show and put his most hilarious match in probably his greatest ever spot and probably his greatest ever segment into the Hall of Fame.
Fair dues.
So there you go. Big Show's going in to the Hall of Fame via the Lumberjack Destruction SmackDown 2004. Thank you very much for watching us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please put in what is your Hall of Fame. Remember, you could come on every single time. You're not going to have just one match. You might have hundreds of matches. Put a different one each way. If you want to try and connect them, you don't have to. Do whatever you want. Please, we've had a few people comment their Hall of Fames, which is actually so lovely to see. We want to see more. We want to see what you are attracted to. What makes you laugh, what makes you smile, what makes you just enjoy wrestling from the good, the bad, to the ugly. Please go and put it in, and we'd love to see it. Tell us on Twitter. Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time for our Sam's on Wrestling Hall of Fame.